Hey guys, Dan the Man with Ralston Acres. It's springtime, late spring, early May. Now what do we do? Stay tuned. Hey guys, Dan the Man with Ralston Acres. Glad you could stay with us. Yes, it's early May. I guess you'd call it almost summertime. Late spring, we got showers coming up. We've done our planting, we've done our fertilizing, we've mowed and mowed and mowed over the last 3 weeks. So we've got that pretty much in check for now. It may change in 3 or 4 days. But what do we do now that we're getting to the early part of the summer? Okay, here's what's coming along: fungus and insects and little pests that we really don't need on a Christmas tree farm that might harm the tree in some way and keep it from being that perfect tree that you can sell during Christmas time. Well, let me show you something that might help in keeping that tree free of fungus and free of the pests that we don't like. Let me show you a little piece of equipment that we use here on the farm. I'm going to try to get into the picture if I can. This is our mist sprayer. This is what we use to spray some fungicide and insecticide into our trees. What I like about this piece of equipment, of course, it's got a 50-gallon tank on the back. Our particular farm is on some hillsides and things, so I really can't fill this thing all the way up. But if you're on flat land, yes, you could. And this part back here, this is the fan where it blows the chemical from the tank. It comes through hoses and comes out this fan, and it will blow that into the trees. What I like about it is it gets inside the tree. It's just not spraying, they're coating the outside, it's getting it all the way into the tree. And that's where the fungus likes to start. And what does the fungus do? Well, it just basically starts eating away at the tree, and it hurts the appearance of the tree more than anything. And it could, I guess, eventually kill it if you let it go far enough. But when you're trying to sell a good looking Christmas tree, you want to keep and mitigate the fungus effects on that tree. If you're in the southeastern United States, you're going to get it. It's not a matter of when, if you get it, it's when. When you go further north, you don't have as much problem, but you still have some. And then, of course, we can also mix the particular fungicide we use with some insecticide, which does keep down some of the bad pests. Well, what bad pests would there be? I've got good pests, like a praying mantis. They're generally pretty good because they eat their others. Well, let me think. What about a hornet or a wasp or some aphids or some other things that just generally you don't want in your house? Well, you don't want a praying mantis in your house either, but they tend to go away too after we spray these in the fall. But this right here will I think do two jobs with one application. And that's when you want to check with your chemical company or read the label of the chemical that you might be using. And we don't use anything that's going to be very, very harmful that might cause three eyes or do something crazy to your health. But we do respect it. Whenever I'm spraying this right here, I make sure that I have a respirator or some sort of covering over my mouth so that I don't, if I have an accident, wind blows or something, that I don't get it on me. I actually wear I call it a hazmat suit. It's something that to keep the spray off of me. But I guess you don't have to, but follow the directions on the label, and that will keep you safe. But I use my small tractor, 25 horse New Holland TZ 250DA. It was a 2011 model. I've seen people use tractors a little bit bigger with this equipment, and that's fine. You can. I just use this because I can get through my rows, and that's what I want to do. Another thing about this piece of equipment right here uh, is that it can usually spray. If you go down one side of a row, it might spray as much as 20 feet. So you might get as maybe 21 feet. You may get 3 rows of application on one side, and then you turn around and go to the other side and get the other 3 rows. And so you've actually done 3 rows with a loop. And that I think that helps us out quite a bit. because we spray somewhere between 4 and 5,000 trees, and that does cut down on the time. But I wanted you to see this. Now, some people use just a regular, and I did when I first started. If I had a couple of hundred trees, you might want to just use a regular garden sprayer, or maybe a 25-gallon um, spot sprayer on the back of a four-wheeler or ATV, and you can spray the tree real good and go to the next one, spray it real good. But for me, with the time that's involved in spraying each tree individually, and for the effect or the result of what you're going to get from that, I like the mist sprayer. Now, they're not cheap. I'll be honest with you, they're not cheap. I would say they're running somewhere. A new one is going to run somewhere between 3,500 or $4,000. That's my guess. You can buy them in different sizes. Sometimes you might get a little bit cheaper if you get a smaller size. But this one right here, if I'm not mistaken, was somewhere around 3,000, 3,200, maybe something like that. And it runs off power takeoff and a 3-point hitch on your tractor. So I wanted you to see that. Yeah, what do we do? This is the time of the year that we will do that about every 5 weeks during the summer: May, June, July, August, and September. Now you say, well, what about October? Depending on the weather. If the weather's hot, if it tends to be warm during October, we may hit another lick in October, at least with a cleanup in October. When I call cleanup, that would be especially your not so much the fungicide, but the insecticide. Um, but I'd say we do it at least 5 times a summer, and that does take a while. And you know what? Summertime brings heat, and you're in that suit and it's hot, or if you're in long sleeves, it's hot. And so, it's not always the most pleasurable thing to be out doing, but you are outside. And that's one thing I like, having had an inside outside job for about 30 some odd years. I like being outside. But I wanted you to see that this is primarily between this and the mowing. This is what we do during the summertime to keep the mowing up and keep the fungicide about 5 weeks. We have an application of fungicide and insecticide together. So read the directions on your chemicals. This is not a video about chemicals, about what to use or not to use. I would suggest you get with a good um, reputable company, like maybe have a sales rep for that, or if you go by your local co-op or farmers organization, at least talk to them about what does the label say that I can use this on, what does it do. You don't want to buy something that's not going to do what you want it to. And you want to buy something that is relatively safe, because there's some out there. There's some real bad chemicals out there that'll really cause you problems if you're not real safe with them. So with that said, that's all I've got in this video. But I wanted you to remember that we do have on Ralston Acres Christmas Tree Farm. We have an Instagram post. We have Instagram platform. We also have Facebook. We also have TikTok. That's new. I've got to have some help with TikTok. And, all these platforms are out there and they will do different things. The YouTube channel that you're watching right now, that's primarily for Christmas tree growers or people who are interested in how we grow Christmas trees. But if you haven't liked this, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. This is what keeps our algorithm happy and keeps things going, and allows us to make more and more videos to help you in Christmas tree farming. So with all that, that's all I'm going to say today. Thank you for watching. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Like us. Send us comments on what you'd like to see us give you this summer, as far as tapes or videos and things like that we could share with you. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time on Farming Around the Christmas Trees.